That was one of the most heartbreaking ways to end a season that the Brewers have had in my lifetime. Blowing a 2-0 lead in the top of the ninth inning in Game 3 of the Wild Card Series against the Mets was a soul-crushing experience for a team that otherwise had a really, really good season. Expected to be a below 500 team that was starting a rebuild, the Brewers, under new manager Pat Murphy and new general manager Matt Arnold, instead won 93 games and their second straight NL Central crown. This wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the performances of the players on this roster. Many guys had career years, rookies stepped up to the plate, and we had a good amount of veterans lead the team into the playoffs. So in this video, we're going to give grades to both the catchers and infielders on the 2024 Milwaukee Brewers. The regular season is going to be used for the majority of their grades, but if they did good in the team's limited playoff run, their grade can be raised. For the grades, A is for a player who exceeded expectations or made the All-Star team. B is for a player that had a solid season. C is for a player who met their expectations. D is for a player who had a disappointing season. And F is for a complete failure of a year. So let us get started with the first player on this list, All-Star catcher William Contreras. If we thought that the first season that Contreras had with the Brewers was a fluke, he then backed up the fact that he is the best offensive catcher in the league with an All-Star appearance, which was his first with the Milwaukee Brewers, and is in line to win his second straight Silver Slugger in the NL. It's even possible that he could be named to the All-MLB team with his excellent season. Contreras appeared in a career-high 155 games, catching for 120 of them, which is another career high, having a slash line of 281, 365, 466, with 167 hits, 37 doubles, 2 triples, 23 home runs, 92 RBIs, 99 runs, 9 steals, an OPS of 831, and an OPS plus of 129. He didn't perform as well defensively compared to his amazing 2023 year, as he struggled a bit more with pitch framing and allowed 3 times as many passed balls as he did the year before. But he did have a better rate of catching base runners, with his rate going up to 23%. Contreras also had a B-WAR value of 4.9, which was the highest on the team. The playoffs were a bit of a different story, though, as he struggled only getting 2 hits in his 12 at-bats, and in the pivotal Game 3, he had knee soreness that prevented him from playing catcher, and really prevented him from being mobile at all on the base paths. But overall for his season, Contreras gets a grade of A, as he couldn't have asked for a better offensive performance for our catcher. As he is now available for arbitration, his salary is going to go up, and he can't say he doesn't deserve it as the most valuable player on the Brewers. I'm looking forward for what he's going to do in the next season, and it's going to be a good one, I believe, for one of the best catchers in all of baseball. The Brewers signed the former All-Star catcher of the Yankees and Padres fame to a 1-year, $3 million deal to be the primary backup catcher in DH. And he was decently solid in that role for Milwaukee and pretty much brought to the table what we thought he would. Low average, good power, and some decent catching. Sanchez appeared in 89 games for the Brewers, 28 of them as catcher, the rest were as designated hitter, having a slash line of 220, 307, 392 with 54 hits, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 11 home runs, 37 RBIs, 30 runs, and an OPS of 699 and an OPS plus of 93. He was also below average behind the plate, with baseball savant giving him -2 runs defensive as a catcher. But he was one of the better postseason performers for the Brewers, going 2 for 7 with a double in the 2 games that he played in. And in the 2024 season, Sanchez accumulated a B-WAR of 0.2 in his lone season with Milwaukee. And for his time with the Brewers, I'm giving Sanchez a grade of C, as he did pretty much what we expected from him. And I would imagine that the Brewers would not retain him heading into next season, as we want to get more consistency out of our backup catcher option, and he's going to be too expensive, and the Brewers have a top catching prospect coming up here soon, so would not expect to see Gary back next year, but thank you for your time, Sanchez. The spring trading darling for his impressive performance, Haas spent the majority of the season down in AAA, but was called up on July 1st and was an impact bat in his limited plate appearances. He appeared in 30 games, 23 of them as catcher, having a slash line of 273, 304, 515, with 18 hits, 1 double, 5 home runs, 14 RBIs, 10 runs, and an OPS of .819 and an OPS plus of 122. He was okay defensively, with Baseball Savant giving him a fielding grade of 0. Haas also accumulated a B WAR of .4. Overall, I'm giving Haas a grade of B, as he really played better than expected for the Brewers and could be a candidate for the backup catching role next season, especially if Jefferson Cuero, the Brewers' top catching prospect, is not ready for MLB action. The Brewers' big offseason acquisition, having been signed to a 2-year, $34 million deal with an opt-out after the 2024 season, Hoskins had a bit of a disappointing year in his first season since missing all of 2023 with injury. He definitely had the power that he is known for, with his 26 home runs being second on the team. But he was massively inconsistent at the plate and was a pretty poor defender at first base. But he did quickly earn the love of Brewers fans after a memorable opening season against the Mets. In his first season with the Brewers, Hoskins appeared in 131 games, 94 of them at first base, having a slash line of 214, 303, 419, with 96 hits, 14 doubles, 26 home runs, 82 RBIs, 59 runs, 3 steals, an OPS of 722, and an OPS plus of 98. Baseball Savant gave him an average grade of 53 for batting run value, a 4 for base running value, which was poor, and a 28 for fielding run value, which was also poor. And he accumulated a B WAR value of negative .2 for the season as well. Reese had an interesting season for the Brewers, bringing his big bat with several big home runs for the Brewers, but his lack of consistency with poor defense at first base really hurt the team. He was also a no-show in the playoffs, going 0 for 9 with just 1 RBI on a sacrifice fly. For the 2024 season, I'm giving Hoskins a grade of C-, as he did bring the pop with his bat, but his lack of consistency hurt the team a lot. It will be interesting to see what he decides to do in the offseason, as he has the opt-out ability to stay with Milwaukee or be a free agent. But me personally, I hope he opts out, and I would like to see the Brewers try to upgrade at the first base position, because Hoskins was just too inconsistent. Predicted by manager Pat Murphy to have a quantum leap during the spring training, Bryce didn't quite make that massive quantum leap as predicted, but there was definite considerable improvement from him at the plate. He went from one of the worst qualified hitters in all of baseball in 2023 to being an average hitter in 2024. But that, combined with his amazing speed on the base path and his Gold Glove level defense, means that Turang went from a below average player to one of the most valuable guys on the team. He appeared in 155 games, 152 of them at second base, having a slash line of 254, 316, 349, with 142 hits, 24 doubles, 4 triples, 7 home runs, 57 RBIs, 72 runs, 50 steals, good for third in all of MLB, only behind Ellie De La Cruz and Shohei Ohtani. An OPS of .665 and an OPS plus of 85. Baseball Savant gave him a grade of 27 for batting run value, which is poor, a 70 for base running value, which is above average, and a 78 for fielding run value, which is great. Baseball Reference also credited him with 21 defensive runs saved. And for his sophomore season, Turang posted a B WAR of 4.6 and a league-high 2.7 defensive B WAR, second highest on the team, only behind William Contreras. Turang was also one of the few players that showed up for the Brewers in the wild card round defeat, having 5 hits in 11 at-bats, with 3 doubles and 2 steals. As for his season, I'm giving Turang a grade of A-, as he was so much better offensively. His incredible first half had him be snubbed from making his first career All-Star game appearance, was a demon on base pass, and should be a favorite to win his first career Gold Glove at second base. I'm looking forward to seeing him play next season, as he should be at least the same, if not better, than he was this season. Where would this team have been without their star shortstop? Willy Adames had a season for the ages in his presumably last season with the Milwaukee Brewers, being one of the most clutch hitters down the stretch, and even tied a major league record. Willie appeared in 161 games, only missing one the day after the Brewers clinched the NL Central, presumably for partying maybe a little bit too hard in the Brew City, and started all of those games at the shortstop position, having a slash line of 251, 331, 462 with 153 hits, 33 doubles, 32 home runs, 112 RBIs, which was second in the National League, only behind the presumed MVP Shohei frickin' Ohtani, 93 runs, 21 steals, an OPS of 794, and an OPS plus of 118. He also tied the Major League record for most 3-run home runs in a season with 13, tying Ken Griffey Jr. for the record. Baseball Savant gave him a score of 91 for batting run value, which is great, a 48 for base running value, which is average, and a 51 for fielding run value, which was also average. He did struggle in the playoffs, only collecting 2 hits, both singles, and had a steal, and was a bit inconsistent from a defensive position, committing a wide range of errors. Adames accumulated a B-WAR value of 3.1, which was good for 4th on the team. And for his 2024 season, I'm giving Willie a grade of A-, as he bounced back from a rough 2023 campaign with a historically good season for the Brewers, even if he was a bit worse defensively. It is going to be rough seeing him sign with a big market team next season, as he was just the absolute best teammate that this organization could have asked for, and a true leader both on and off the field. If this is indeed the end, thank you so much, Willie. You gave us your all, and you helped this franchise make the playoffs in 3 of the 4 seasons while you were here. You will always be remembered for this period of Brewers baseball, and thank you. I mean that a lot. Thank you, Willie. The main piece brought back in the big Corbin Burnes trade in the 2023 offseason, Ortiz really solidified himself as the Brewers' third baseman of the future with a solid offensive season and an incredible defensive one as well. Ortiz appeared in 142 games for the Brewers, 134 at third base, 10 at shortstop, and 6 at second, having a slash line of 239, 329, 398 with 105 hits, 26 doubles, 6 triples, 11 home runs, 60 RBIs, 58 runs, 11 steals with an OPS of 726 and an OPS plus of 101. Baseball Savant gave him a score of 62 for batting run value, which is above average, a 73 for base running value, which is also above average, and an 89 for a fielding run value that was great. But he really did struggle in the playoffs, going hitless in his 11 at-bats against the Mets. Ortiz accumulated a B-WAR value of 2.6. So for his first full season in the majors, I'm giving Ortiz a grade of B. His incredible defense and some solid stretches of hitting shows his potential. He just needs to be a bit more consistent with his bat, and he'll be a great place of this team for years to come. It will be interesting to see what position he'll play next season, though. When Adames leaves, will he move over to shortstop, or will he stay and continue to anchor third base for the Milwaukee Brewers? The incumbent third baseman from last season, Monasterio, definitely disappointing compared to his solid end to the season last year. He only appeared in 59 games for the Brewers, 26 at third base, 21 at second, 5 at first, having a slash line of 208, 303, 272 with 26 hits, 1 home run, 16 RBIs, 14 runs, 6 steals, and a 575 OPS and an OPS plus a 62. He didn't play enough to get full grades from Baseball Savant, but his general range is as followed. A poor batting run value, above average base running value, and a poor defensive run value. And Monasterio accumulated a B-WAR value of negative 0.2. It was a very disappointing season for Andrew, who lost his third base job to Jory Ortiz, and was a pretty poor bench bat as well. I'm giving Andrew a grade of D, and I would imagine that he will be back next season, as the Brewers will most likely want to cut some payroll, and Monasterio is a cheap option with positional flexibility, but I would like to see us try to upgrade from that. It was a short rookie season for the infielder, who surprisingly made the opening day roster, but an injury knocked him out for what would end up being the season in early June. But he was decent for a rookie, appearing in 41 games, 27 at third base, 7 at DH, 1 at second, and 1 at first, having a slash line of 221, 282, 316, with 21 hits, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, 11 runs, 3 steals, an OPS of 597, and an OPS plus of 66. Baseball Savant gave him a batting run value of poor and an average score for both base running value and defensive run value. He accumulated a B-WAR value of 0.2. For his rookie season, I'm giving Dunn a grade of D+, as while he did get off to a decent start, a lack of bat development and a long-term injury really hampered Dunn's first season as a big leaguer. I hope he comes back healthy next season and competes for the backup third baseman on the roster. With the additions of both Rhys Hoskins and Jake Bauers, the Brewers' first baseman and utility man of last season started the year in AAA and came up for 14 games when Hoskins was on the injured list. Miller appeared at first base for 9 of those games, having a slash line of 185, 185, 222, with 5 hits, 1 double, 3 RBIs, 2 runs, an OPS of 407, and an OPS plus of 13. Baseball Savant gave him a poor grade for batting run value and an average grade for both base running value and defensive run value. Miller accumulated a B-WAR value of negative 0.6, and it was just in general a disappointing season for him, who has basically been replaced by Jake Bauers and Tyler Black on the depth chart. I would be really surprised if he's on the Major League roster next season. Well, that is it for this video, the first of 4 in the series of looking back at the 2024 Milwaukee Brewers. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Who do you think had the best season out of the catchers and infielders? And next up, we'll be going into the outfield and designated hitters for the Brewers, which has some exciting young talent among them. So if you want to see that, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you again next time. Peace.